to Kwik Brain on DC Live, where we care about how we think, how we work, and how we grow. I'm Vismaya, and today we are exploring a powerful idea. But before we begin, let me ask you something. What if the real problem at work is not difficult people, but our inability to handle difficult conversations? Take a pause and sink into that thought. Because today's session is not about avoiding conflict, it is about facing it with clarity, confidence, and control. Now, let's be honest. Most of us avoid difficult conversations, don't we? We delay giving feedback, we stay silent in meetings, we say it's okay, and when it's actually not. Why do we do this? Because difficult conversations make us uncomfortable. But here's the truth. Avoiding the conversation doesn't solve the problem at all. It silently grows. Let me ask you this. How many issues at work could have been solved earlier if someone had just spoken up at the right time? Now, let's talk about the conversation that never happened. Let me share a small story here. Meet Neha, a team lead, one of the team members. Arjun has been consistently missing all his deadlines. Neha notices it multiple times, but instead of addressing it directly, she thinks maybe he will improve. I don't want to sound rude. Weeks pass, months pass, deadlines continue to slip, team performance drops, client complaints increase, finally a review call. The manager questions Neha's leadership. Now Neha is forced to confront Arjun. But this time it's not a conversation, it becomes a confrontation. What could have been simply, a simple decision earlier on, now turned out to be a stressful situation for everyone. Now think about this. What was the problem? Arjun's performance or Neha's delay in addressing it? Now, why difficult conversations make us feel it's a little hard? Let's understand why we struggle. Point number one is fear of conflict. That is, we think disagreement is equal to disrespect. Point number two, the fear of being judged. What will they think about me? Point number three, lack of words. We don't know how to say things the right way. Point number four, emotional discomfort. It feels easier to stay silent than to speak. But here's a shift in thinking. A difficult conversation done right is actually a sign of respect, not conflict. Now reflect on this. Do you avoid conversations to keep peace, or are you unknowingly creating a bigger problem? Let's revisit the same situation once again, but let's handle it differently now. Neha notices the delay again. This time she calls Arjun for a quick discussion. Instead of saying you're always missing deadlines, she says, I've noticed a few deadlines that were missed recently. Is there something blocking your progress? Now, what changed here? No blame, no accusations, just observation and curiosity. Now, let's say Arjun responded to this conversation this way. I'm struggling with the new tool, as if the new tool. I don't want to admit it. I didn't want to admit it. Now, the real problem gets visible. Neha offers support. Training is arranged. Performance improves. Same issue, but a different approach and a better outcome. Now, ask yourself this question. How often do we assume the problem instead of understanding the reason behind it? Now, let's build a simple framework here. Here's a practical way to handle a difficult conversation. Start with facts, not with emotions. I noticed the report was delayed by 2 days. You cannot say things like you are irresponsible. Step 2, express impact. That is, this has affected the client timeline. Step 3, invite a perspective. Can you please help me understand what exactly happened here? Step 4, try to collaborate in that solution. How can we ensure that this doesn't happen again? Now, this structure keeps the conversation calm, clear, and constructive. Remember, the goal is not to win the conversation, it is to improve the situation. Now, example 1, peer conflict. Instead of you never supported me, say I feel stuck. I felt stuck during the last task. Can we align it better for the next time? Example 2, saying no, I can't do this. Instead, can we say I'm currently working on XYZ? If this is the priority, I may need help reprioritizing. Example 3, giving feedback. Instead of saying this is bad, this section is good, but a few details need correction for accuracy. Now think, how would you at your workplace change such similar situations? If conversations became clearer instead of harsher, how would it sound? Now let's take a mini reflection. Take a moment. Think of one conversation that you've been avoiding all these days. A feedback that you didn't give, a concern that you didn't raise, a misunderstanding that you did not clear. Now sit back and ask yourself, what is the cost of not having this conversation? Because silence is not neutral. It either protects the present or damages the future. Difficult conversations are not always easy, but they are necessary. What happens with them is they build trust, they solve problems, they strengthen teams, and most importantly, they help you grow. Not just as a professional, but as a person. So next time when you face a difficult conversation, don't avoid it, don't rush with it, handle it with clarity, empathy, and purpose. Stay courageous, stay clear, and most importantly, stay respectful while handling tougher conversations at work. This is Vismaya signing off from Kwik Brain on DC Live. Until next time, keep your brain quick and your thinking sharp.